Hello to everyone in the internet. It is currently Wednesday, December 5th. I am Nathan of Washington, and you are watching Culture Shock, the only show on the internet that knows how to separate an issue of culture from an issue of politics. And this is the news. Alright, everybody. So did you hear about this? You know, I was on Denmark's side with the populism, but now, this is looking a bit iffy. A bit, They're forcibly, they're going to forcibly house failed asylum seekers and migrant criminals on Lindholm Island. This is an island owned by the Denmarkian government, which is used for animal disease research. And the environment of the island is not particularly friendly. But you know what? The Queen of Ice, Inger Stjorberg, that's what I'm calling her. She said she wanted to make the asylum seekers and migrants feel unwelcome. The whole point is just to make them feel unwelcome and uncomfortable, so they'll want to leave. Yeah, but where are they going to go? Their own country won't have them back. This is a potential violation of human rights. And to make them feel uncomfortable like this is unfair, because they have basically nowhere else to go. I understand if your native population is essentially being replaced, but this seems to go a little too far. There's a good possibility we should consider denying foreign aid to Denmark if they ever need it in like the next 50 years. And this is a right-wing populist movement's decision. This is not like straight up like Nazi-ish looking, but it doesn't look good. It looks like a potential human rights violation, and at the very least, it's kind of cruel and an extremely unpleasant decision. If I didn't know anybody, I'd say that Miss Inger Stjorberg has basically no heart, almost. She's the Queen of Ice. She's the Queen of Ice. But she was the one who basically made the decision at the behest of her right-wing party. This was not the right decision. I would say you should have either sent the failed asylum seekers and migrants somewhere else, or negotiated to send them back home. But basically forcibly house them on an inhospitable island. Maybe house them somewhere else that's more livable. You know, now would really be a good time to start establishing space colonies or something. Because at least that would be a little better. A little more livable. And then a baby born after a successful transplant of womb from dead woman. Yeah, they've done transplanted wombs before, but now this profoundly creepy transplanting a womb from a woman who is dead from a bursted blood vessel in her brain. Ugh, why? So freaking creepy, dude. I know they transplant organs from like the freshly dead all the time, but that doesn't make it any less creepy for me. Ugh. Of course, the woman in question, the living woman, the recipient, really couldn't have children of her own. She had a condition where she basically didn't have a functioning womb. She had eggs and ovaries, but no way to transmit semen, or sperm from the entry to where the eggs are. Which for any woman is an unfortunate condition, but God, why does the cure have to be so friggin' creepy? Oof. Thinking about it literally makes me want to hurl. I'm not a big fan of organ transplant. Especially how some of these hospitals will jump the gun and declare you dead before it's time just so they can harvest your organs. Oh yeah, that's a thing. Look into it. Look it up. Creepy as hell. It's cool that she can have kids now, but you know, she's already had one, and then the dead woman had at least 3 kids of her own. You know, gave birth 3 times prior, but still. Ugh. I need to stop talking about this, or I'm literally gonna start to have nightmares. I hate organ transplants. But I'm doing this for you people. You need free, fair, honest news. Watch me, or someone else online rather than the mainstream media. You're better off. Watch Styx Hexenhammer 666 or someone else like that, or Ben Shapiro, or the Liberty Report with Ron Paul. You're better off. So, in other news, a 7.6 earthquake has hit the French territory of New Caledonia with a tsunami warning incoming. Yeah, didn't something like this happen in Alaska not too long ago? I almost feel like this is too good to be a coincidence. I'm not saying that the story from my sources was fake per se, but really more like maybe that these two events are somehow possibly related. Like maybe this has something to do with the way the Earth has been changing lately. Like, remember that shift back, I think it was 2012, where magnetic north and magnetic south switched places, and compasses for a while didn't work properly? The thing just kept spinning, and then corrected itself later, and the thing switched places? Yeah. That's why I'm thinking maybe this is part of some like greater pattern of geological changes. See, I don't believe that climate change actually is anthropogenic in nature. I believe it is in fact a natural process, and we may be looking at another ice age. And since we weren't around to see the other ice ages, well, we don't know how this shit starts. We can make educated guesses, but that's about it. Who's to say it didn't start with earthquakes and tsunamis? And, you know, shifting of plates and the moving of magnetic poles. That could all be part of it. There was actually a petition signed by several, like 3,600 scientists or something like that, stating that there was no good reason to believe in anthropogenic climate change. That's a real thing. This 91% of scientists agree is actually bullshit. Look that up. You'll be surprised. What? Why have me present it when you can look it up yourself? It's there. You have every reason to trust me. I have never lied to you before. So Google has continued to personalize searches even when logged out or incognito. Why am I not surprised? This is why VPNs and other such services are needed widespread. If you believe in your right to privacy and you want to protect it, then you want to either use a search engine that doesn't track, or you want to use a VPN, like I do. I have Virtual Shield installed right into Mozilla Firefox. And for those of you who hate Firefox, too bad. Way better than Google Chrome. I love it. Even better than Firefox's Opera. Although I'm on an operating system that Opera doesn't seem to interact with all that well, in spite of being written for it, which is kind of weird. Anyway, get yourself a VPN and look into ways to protect your privacy, because Google doesn't care. Don't use 23andMe, don't use DNA tests. If you want to find out your history, find your family, do it the old-fashioned way. You're better off. Otherwise, you don't know who has access to your DNA. Maybe, put a DNA sample in the cup, but send it to a friend anonymously, and then they can use their name instead. Because they can't track both of you. Right? It'd be your DNA, but their name, so they wouldn't have access to accurate information. Maybe even make up a name. Like, make a fake name. Because they don't check for that shit. Anyway, enough about violations of security. The final story for today, I swear, when I read about this last night during the research period, ugh. I was wondering if I was going to be able to keep it together for this episode, because this is fucking hilarious. I wish I was making this up, but it was pretty solid. There was even a video confession of a woman murdering her boyfriend by sitting on him. And she was 300 pounds. I wish I was making that up, folks. Only in America can a woman murder her boyfriend by sitting on him and she's 300 plus pounds. Only in America. You will not see that anywhere else. Like, foreigners complain about how fat we are, but it makes it just so fucking funny. Like, that shouldn't be funny, but it just is. And I don't know what to do with that. Anyway, folks, cheers.